Hey guys, and welcome to year 5 of the Trinity Football League. No, don't just your set. This is the top of my head. Now you may be asking why. Well, the reason is, y'all did say that you wanted me to do the predictions again. Everybody seemed to be in agreement that they enjoy the predictions, and that's fine. Well, the one thing that I didn't enjoy was every time I clicked on the site, the first thing that I would see would be my ugly face on the YouTube video. So I thought, well, I can do one of several things. I thought about putting other pictures up in front of the screen. I thought, well, maybe I could do that. Maybe I will do that at some point. I thought, well, no, maybe I could just do another body part. Maybe I could just do my feet. No, Lord, that's worse than my face. Ugly feet. And I thought, well, maybe I could use my belly. No, you can't take a picture of your belly and leave that on the screen all week. That would be terrible. Plus, Christian says it's just full of pizza. And I thought, well, I could just use the body part that I actually get my predictions from. So you're getting these from my head. Now, maybe y'all think, maybe most of you think I pulled these predictions from another body part, but we can't show that on YouTube. It's a family site. Can't do it. So you get the top of my head. Now, the top of my head is not perfect. I got this little mole right here. Now, that mole has been there as long as I can remember. My hair used to cover it up. But as you see, age is sort of taking care of that, and the hairline's receding. So now I think, what am I going to do about that stupid mole? And I thought, well, maybe we can take care of it right here, like this, and put that on there like that. All right, invisible, right? Can't even tell it's there. All right, on with the predictions. Okay, I'm not going to take up any more time. We're going to go right into predictions here. Let's see. Craven Pines Soaring Condors versus L-Town Beatdown is my first matchup this week. I think that Craven Pines is probably one of the best teams in the league this year. They really deserve a break. He's had some good drafts. He's got great keepers. But he just doesn't seem to get the breaks. He always seems to come up against someone else's real big week, and he'll take the loss for it. And I just think that this year is going to be Sean's year. And he's going up against L-Town Beatdown, who is going to be very much more competitive than last year's team. Chris sort of took over a team that hadn't been taken care of properly and has tried to build this team from scratch. So look for L-Town to be much more competitive, but I believe that this week that Craven Pines will pull out the victory. Okay? We see matchup number 2, the Archdale Intimidators, our 2-time defending champion. Archdale Intimidators, Derek Embry's the owner, versus LA Avengers, Jamie Stepp's team. The Archdale Intimidators have 4 very good players coming back from last year's team, but they lose their quarterback. But what did they do in the draft? Having back-to-back picks, they picked up Matthew Stafford and Sam Bradford as their pick, and I'm sure that they will use those in matchup situations and mix and match those 2 quarterbacks each week. And I thought that was a very good move on their part to go along with their other keepers. They have a very good team this year, and should be just as competitive as always. Going up against Jamie's LA Avengers, who may be in just a little bit of trouble with the news that Peyton Manning is going to be out this week and could be out for longer, but he has good players also that he can plug into the spot. He's got Mark Sanchez to plug in at quarterback. But I believe that the Intimidators will take the Avengers. I just don't think that Sanchez will be enough for the LA Avengers to overcome the Archdale Intimidators this week. So I think that the Intimidators will beat the Avengers in this matchup. The next matchup is Trinity's War Dogs versus the Italian Stallions of Mike Sirianni. War Dogs have a very good team with Phillip Rivers, Rashad Mendenhall, Tim Hightower, who I really like. Brandon Lloyd, if he can repeat last year, is going to be a force. Deshaun Jackson and Mike Wallace, two great young wide receivers. Antonio Gates, the number one tight end, number one rated tight end. The Eagles D and Sebastian Janikowski. The Stallions are going to counter with Ben Roethlisberger, the number one running back, in Adrian Peterson, who should have a great year. Darren McFadden, who could be top 5 if he stays healthy, is his other running back spot. Ryan Grant at the flex. Marcus Colston and Mike Williams, two solid wide receivers, along with Tony Gonzalez, Patriots, and Matt Bryant. This is going to be a very close matchup, I believe, one that could come right down to the Monday night games between Denver and Oakland. But I believe that the War Dogs will beat the Stallions this week in that matchup. The next one is Shake and Bake versus the Slaw Cats. Father against son already. We're already going family against family here with Ian's team, Shake and Bake, versus Paul Hildreth and the Sophia Slaw Cats. Shake and Bake is another one of my preseason teams that I think could vie for the title this year. Drew Brees, Arian Foster, if he can stay healthy, Michael Turner's his other running back spot, Jahavid Best, who's another one that has always had injury problems, but if he stays healthy could be very big. Andre Johnson and Pierre Garçon, Jason Witten, the Ravens D, and Steven Gostkowski. The Slaw Cats have Matt Ryan, LaShawn McCoy, Joseph Adai, Wes Welker, Reggie Wayne, Jeremy Macklin, Dallas Clark, the Giants D, and Rob Baronis. I believe that Shake and Bake will take this one this week, but it could be a good matchup. It's really going to come down for the Slaw Cats as to what happens to Indy this week. The Slaw Cats have Joseph Adai, who could benefit from Peyton Manning being on the sidelines, as they will probably run the ball more. But it could hurt the Slaw Cats in that they also have Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. And so this could hurt just a little bit as far as don't know how much Kerry Collins is going to throw and how much he's going to depend on Joseph Adai at this point. But I think that the Shake and Bake will pull out this victory over the Slaw Cats this week, barring any injuries or any other injuries. The next one is Westover Wallaroos versus my Fairgrove Mad Dogs. The Wallaroos had the number one pick in the draft this year and very wisely picked up Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback this year and for the future. This automatically makes them very competitive and could prove to be a difference maker as far as whether they make the playoffs or not, because they have some good players behind Aaron Rodgers in D'Angelo Williams and Fred Jackson. Beanie Wells is a running back who this week is probably going to have a very good week against the Carolina rushing defense, which has been suspect at best. Santana Moss and then Quan Bolden at wide receiver, along with Jimmy Graham, the Packers D, and Alex Henry. I'm countering with Michael Vick at quarterback, Chris Johnson and Ray Rice at running back, Percy Harvin, Hakeem Nicks, Santonio Holmes, wide receivers and flex, Zach Miller at tight end, the Falcons D, and Josh Brown as the kicker. I believe I can pull out the victory this week. It will not be easy. This will be a tough matchup. I really think it's going to come down to how well Chris Johnson does and Michael Vick does this week. I think that's probably I'm going to need big points from them to get this victory. The last matchup is T-ville Ligers, Dustin's team, versus the Thomasville Jokers. This is my matchup of the week because this one is almost a coin flip as far as I'm concerned. Tom Brady, Noshawn Marino, Matt Forte, Felix Jones, who I really like at Dallas running back, Johnny Knox, Kenny Britt, Owen Daniels, and the Bears D, going up against the Jokers, and here comes the train. Josh Freeman, Sean Green, Peyton Hillis, LeGarrette Blunt, Mario Manningham, Mike Thomas, Kellen Winslow at tight end, the Saints D, and Billy Cundiff. Yep, there goes the train. Like I said, this one is going to be a toss-up, and that's exactly what I did to come up with who I think will win. I actually flipped the coin, and it came up Ligers. So I think that the Ligers will win this one this week. and that it will be very close between these two. All right, that's all I have for this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Come back next week and we'll talk about maybe I'll do a top 3 or a top 5 for the year, and we'll keep it rolling that way. So I hope y'all enjoy it, and we'll talk to you on down the road.